Hello, everybody, and welcome to another live reaction here on the channel. Matt and John make a podcast. We are reacting to WWE Hell in a Cell 2020 that just went off the air not too long ago. It is 10:07 p.m. John, how you doing this fine Sunday evening?
It's been a crazy one. From these guys to a pretty good Hell in a Cell pay per view.
Yes, yes,
I,
yes, yes.
I thought there.
Yes. Overall, yes. Let's get right into it. And oh, by the way, John, well, mostly John's give his thoughts on the UFC pay per view. Right, John?
Right. We will save that for the end
end.
there.
Yeah. But first, let's get into the big stuff. We open up the show today with the tribal chief Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso in the Hell in the Cell. And what I think we can agree on was match of the night. Is that fair to say? And you're muted. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I must have unmuted myself there.
We're professionals, damn it.
We are professionals here. But okay, yeah, I should be fine now. All right. Yeah. Well, like, first of all, I was asking myself, why the fuck is this? Is this not closing the show?
Because there's no title change.
And that is where, yeah, I'll get to that later there. But outside of that, this was a storytelling masterpiece. I like I I always go into any sort of anything involving Roman ever since that he has come back, thinking there is no possible way that he can possibly outdo every single thing that he has been doing. And by God, we had it happen again, Matt. He is just on a completely different level than anyone else in the entire industry. Yes, for the straight up like match itself, it probably wasn't as great, but the storytelling and the emotion involved in this was just, it just so outweighed anything else as far from it.
They're
Move.
No, they're not. No, that
Right.
The type of match and story going into this, you don't need to have a 5-star Tokyo Dome, 6-star crazy thing.
-2 because it wasn't in the Tokyo Dome.
Yeah, -2, and yes, you don't need it. Told a story, and somehow people were still upset about this match. Just I don't know. Just stop watching, because that's peak storytelling at its finest. Right. His match, it got emotion. I didn't want to care about sending out tweets. I didn't care what anybody else said.
I took care of that. So
well, I did at the end, but regardless,
right.
But I was invested the whole time. Got the emotion. It's told a good story, and minus Rikishi, I think I predicted that ending damn close to how that finish. Jay was going to take a beating over and over again, and then, well, insert family member getting his ass beat, and just said it was enough. And
like I knew it would have to take something really heinous, I guess is a word that you could find to actually make like Jay tap, and definitely involving his twin brother Jimmy made sense to me. I was kind of surprised that, as you said, Matt, that we didn't see a Rikishi, but man, the freaking acting by like Roman, where he's fake crying, he's like just
So
trying to.
he had tears.
He had
He got
tears,
himself with tears.
like it was just amazing. Just the freaking roller coaster ride that him and Jay just took us on this whole entire thing. And I can't say it enough, man. Just this was impressive. Just to say the least here. I'm just and now where does this go now is the bigger story now. Like you would think that we're going to be seeing Rikishi at some point now,
One
because
you
because
would think.
because just based off of the stipulation, they are no longer part of the Anawai family now. So you guys feel like that's something along that is going to happen. And I was even telling a friend of mine, if this does not end with like Roman versus Dwayne the Rock Johnson, then I feel like that it would do a huge missed opportunity, just because like Rock hasn't come back, and like Russell, just because there hasn't been that something that would interest him to come back. Well, to me, this would definitely be that something against his cousin, and you involve all of the family. Which, by the way, outside of Rikishi, he really hasn't been involved in anything like this. So it's something new, it's something fresh, and not to mention how like there is like history there as well with his cousin. He filmed Hobbs and like Shaw with him. There's that, and then obviously from the 2015 Rumble in Philadelphia when he came out there. So I mean, it's definitely something that they would be foolish not to pursue here, you know?
Oh, they're probably trying to pursue it. I mean, it's obviously with Hollywood and acting,
Mhm.
the insurance and all that fun stuff. His schedule, um, I mean, that's almost outside of WWE's control.
Yeah,
But it's probably on the table, no doubt, as a possibility for
has to be.
Mania. It's probably tabled in there if they can get him. Um,
Mhm.
Definitely. So yeah, this was um phenomenal to watch. I mean, boom, way to start hot.
Yeah, and I can tell you one thing. Like, I was like, there better be at least one or two cooldown matches after that one, just because
And
because
there
that was,
was
and because I think that went on like 35
something like
or
that.
or um 40 minutes there. So like they, which it was worth every second of it. And to like, there was actually people on here who were saying, oh, this is Dragon. Raj Giri said that. I'm
Yeah,
like,
he
dude.
did.
I'm like,
Yeah, I no.
no,
That's the no. If it was any other
no.
match, maybe you can say that.
It was building up to that
There was
climactic finish there, you
it
know.
wasn't like strictly a wrestling match. It was just a beat down and just uh talking trash. And I think another benefit of being with no people in the arena um is that everybody can hear what Roman's saying.
Yep.
I think this would be a different experience. Or they wouldn't do this if there were fans, because nobody would hear it in the arena.
Mhm.
Maybe if you were in the arena, it would be a worse experience than at home. Because at home, obviously, you can hear everything they're saying, and it adds to
Right.
it. Well, while you're in the arena,
Yeah, like
you're just seeing. It's like watching TV with the mute on.
yeah, and to another thing that was like being constantly pushed to here, Matt, was like Roman. He didn't want to actually do this, but he saw himself as his duty as
Yes,
the
he had
head
to do it.
of. He had to do it, even though you could tell it pained him to basically just beat the shit out of him, to basically embarrass two people who he had known his whole entire life. So it's I definitely think though that with this that pretty much Jay and Jimmy are are going to be are going to be under Roman as a like a heel faction here of some sort, because I believe Heyman said before the match started that if Jay were to actually lose, they would basically
A
be
servant. Yeah.
be
I
like servants
the
for Roman.
yeah,
So I
if that's figuratively or literally, we have to see, because
Mhm,
I
mhm,
mean, we'll see what happens. But we get after the match,
mhm.
um, get the Wild Samoans make an appearance.
That was cool. That was cool right there. That was a great touch there. Like just like and seeing them basically crowning him as a tribal chief, I felt that was a really good touch and a really good way to end that. Just wish that this would have closed the show,
Nope, new champion.
which was dumb. But I'll get into that once we get to that part of the show there. So then after that, Matt, we got Elias versus Jeff Hardy, which ends in a DQ. Um, I wasn't really into this match. I was pretty worn out from the opener, but like Jeff, he hits Elias with the guitar, ends in a disqualification. Any thoughts on this year, Matt?
The next match we have, no,
Okay.
I think, they had the uh un what's the word, unfavorable task of going on after Roman and Jay. This was a cool down match, so I was kind of still coming down and tweeting and all that fun stuff.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm not shocked how it. I'm not shocked that the feud's going to continue.
No,
Um, I have. I don't have anything really else to say based on the.
just
There's nothing to. I mean, it is what it was.
Mhm.
Um, then we
Okay,
move
so
on to Otis versus Miz for the Money in the Bank contract, with Miz getting the win in the briefcase after Take behind the ref's back hits Otis over the head with the briefcase, uh,
and
turning him heel.
I still maintain when I text you this, I don't think this makes a lot of sense for me. Just because like both of them are on different shows now, and
I
if he was jealous, it's like okay, cool, but you're both on different shows
yeah,
now.
I think
Yeah.
because if Survivor Series is cross brand anyways, that's like the undercard
Oh, by
Survivor
the way,
Series.
do we know that for sure yet?
Yeah, wasn't it obvious?
Um, no, because they didn't really say that it was when they were promoting it, that when they were
Well, I'm going based off
okay.
the lower third. It had blue, yellow, and red in it.
Oh, it did. I didn't see that one,
Yeah,
but
I noticed that. Yeah,
um, um,
but
um,
I'm justifying they're on
I
either brand.
guess, but it's just like I feel like if you were gonna go down that route, it would make a little bit more sense. And two, I have my doubts that this is going to actually work, just because Tucker as a heel, I'm not sure he can pull that off. You
I
know,
don't know. Well, mm,
you
as
know,
a face, I don't see. I don't know. As a
as a
face,
face,
I don't know if he was doing it anyways.
yeah. I mean, like
I
he comes off a little bit too likable to me, and I'm just not
I
sure how much
I
they're gonna.
I I feel like this could be a Bailey situation, in terms of nobody thought she could be a heel because she was all bubbly and bubbly the whole career, but it worked. Because I don't see, I can't buy Otis as a heel anyways if he turned.
No,
there's no way.
That would have been.
I think Tucker.
That would been
no, it wouldn't work. Yeah. I would. I want to see how Tucker works as a heel because he can pull it off more so than Otis. The feud in a way makes sense to me, even when he was explaining it, how it works with the split in the Survivor Series. That's that's one thing to be seen, because in my head it makes sense. You got this. You got this good guy, this fat guy who blah 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 is just probably sweats gravy in the heat, gets the girl, gets the money in the bank briefcase, while Tucker is not doing a damn thing. They not doing any tag team stuff pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it makes sense in my head. If it works out, that's another question. So,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Bailey versus Sasha.
Bailey versus Sasha was next, yes.
For the SmackDown Women's Championship, and this was sensational. Yep. These two beat the crap out of each other. Sasha, being her crazy ass self, was just taking some crazy ass bumps here.
I don't know that, like, rolling power bomb into the steel chair in a turnbuckle.
I
don't know if it was camera magic. I don't know how Sasha doesn't have a headache,
right?
Or at the very least, yeah. This was good. In my head, I had how I thought it should go. So. I was like, I like my idea, so boo on them for doing a different idea. But I was bit surprised Sasha won. Because I just had this feeling that they can write Sasha off of the Rumble.
Yeah, but now I don't think that they can do or continue the feud now, or if they do, it's going to be like really, like, who wants to see this now? Because you cannot possibly top that.
No. Sasha got the comeuppance, if you will,
or like a Bailey. Do you mean?
No,
got her comeuppance.
Yeah. That's what I meant. Yeah. Yeah. So Sasha got her revenge. I mean, just use that so I don't mix up the words. Yeah. She won the match in Hell in the Cell. The question here is, again, if it's done, which I think it should be, who the third one?
Well, the good thing is, though, for T or for Survivor Series, she'll be involved in the cross brand is. So yeah, but for TLC, honestly, I think what they should do is, like, eventually set up for her versus Bianca. But I think that Bianca should be probably a contender to win the Women's Rumble and give her a few months to eventually build up. I don't want them to, like, dive right into that, like, add a TLC or a Rumble there. So and because just based off of what they've shown so far, it looks like Bianca is a babyface as of now, but then again, she has only had a, like, video package and
but the way her match, I think she's a face. She comes off as a face for the most part, but she could probably flip. But I need to see what they do with Sasha, because Sasha's track record as champion singles champion. Not that great,
Yeah.
but could be different this time. I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm interested to see what happens.
I mean, I would definitely have like Bailey off of TV for a while. Or that's what I would do anyway. I mean,
We're just going in a different direction.
right, like because I definitely feel like that they've exhausted everything now with those two. I mean, they had this amazing build, cool, but now they need to kind of
Yeah.
like just like let that simmer a bit, and save it for a like future show. I think that they need to try and give Sasha a little bit of a run with the title, and like feud with some other people. Only problem is that she doesn't really have any other heels to go after, so
Who?
I'm not exactly sure where they're gonna go there.
I don't know. I can't. I forget who's on the show.
It's like Zelina.
There's
It's like
there's
Zelina.
Carmella.
Carmella.
There's
Yeah,
Carmella.
yeah,
She
yeah.
hasn't she really debuted yet. I mean, that's a good
I think that's probably a good
interim.
a good interim. So I wouldn't be completely against that because eventually you want to eventually get to Sasha versus Bianca, and then
There you
obviously
go. There's a
Bianca.
good fill-in feud until
Until then.
yeah. I mean, they haven't. They haven't really. She debuted or get revealed and hasn't done anything. So nothing like Friday to come out and stake your claim.
Absolutely. So,
but then you still have Survivor Series. We'll see what happens. But
and to a better question, Matt, did this match top their NXT Takeover Brooklyn match? I felt that they came pretty damn close here.
I don't know, because I would have to like legit watch that again, because I watched the documentaries about it, and they talk about it, but I don't know, like that first match was so like epic. Iconic, like at the time.
It's really what changed how the company views women's wrestling, if we're being completely honest. Like that.
That's like, what is women's wrestling? You would show that match.
Yep. And this year just reconfirms that when they actually build up a story and put in two people who have good chemistry and know what they are doing, we'll get performances like this year. But
can I take the cop-out answer for now?
And
say that one was an actual regular match and one was Hell in a Cell.
Yeah,
that's my cop-out answer. Regardless, it was still phenomenal.
Oh yeah,
still entertaining. Like,
yeah. I mean, easily these two Hell in a Cell matches, I would say, were like sensational. I would say that if we had to like give a like a Meltzer rating here, I would say they were at least on four stars each. Hell, like for me, Roman and Jay was like 5. Just with this, with the story and with the brutality. The only thing I wished that we had in Jay versus
was the copyright symbol in the bottom right hand corner at the end of the match? Is that where you were going to go with that?
No, I was going to say have some color in that match. I feel like that would have added a lot.
If this was like 15 years ago, yes.
Oh yeah, because to me that image of like Jay just bleeding I feel like we've just added so much
If it was,
that.
especially when he did the run by drive by kick with the steel steps.
Right, yeah, yeah. It just, but yeah, two really good hell NSL matches. So at this point in the show,
I know where this is
I'm
going.
like, okay. I mean, regardless of anything else that happens on the show, I'm feeling pretty damn satisfied. So then
We'll keep that in mind.
yeah, so then we go into what, wa- what was
Lashley and
yeah
Scarface or whatever the
slap
slap face
yeah
slap
it
shot.
just this group is so freaking dead, man. Like it's just, I mean, who cares? Lashley wins. Eventually, we see a mini fight that just turned out with like
Lashley poke
retribution.
out all of them.
Yeah, it's just this group is dead. Vince, it's just it's clear as day he is burying
Yes.
this group, and we we could just move on them because I really just do
No,
not feel like talking about.
Vince is like, well, we effed up. Let's just
Yeah,
fuck.
yeah,
He's
kill
just
it.
like,
Yeah.
then we get into the main event, the third Hell in a Cell. Before we get into this, a question.
Mhm.
What did you think of having 3 Hell in a Cell matches in the show?
I was fine with it, honestly. Because to me, all three of them, with the storylines going on, deserve that. Deserve that stipulation, and I like how they position them as far as like, they would like have like one, and then a like cool down, a like another, and then another cooldown match. So I was fine with that. I just didn't agree with putting this as a main event, and I don't care that we got a title change.
I'm just saying that's the reason why.
Well, yeah, I mean, I still think that it's stupid, especially to Roman and like Jay is by far not even close your freaking best storyline going. I don't understand why this would not close the show, because as good as Sasha and Bailey was, it never passed that. Like it was
No.
it was still extremely good. Do not get me wrong, but there is no reason why this should have.
I think they did it because now that was the one match. Well,
have a title change.
minus Bailey and thing, but
Yeah,
you knew you quite didn't know what was going to happen. We all knew Roman was going to win fairly confidently.
right.
Regardless of that,
it
match was phenomenal.
Yeah,
That's not disputed. I'm telling you, that's why they did it. There was you had people. Was Miz going to cash in if Drew wins, which you thought was going to happen when Drew's coughing out blood? And I'm like,
I thought that exactly, but as soon as like Orton won, though, I was like zero chance. That's
0% chance now.
Zero chance.
I am torn with this result several ways the Sunday. Today. I don't know what to think. I'm either happy or mad.
Well, I think we all know why this is happening. It's eventually setting up him versus Edge.
At some point, yes.
Possibly, at some point, which is going to happen at like WrestleMania, which I think as of now, Edge is a heavy contender to probably win the Rumble if he's healthy
maybe if Orton holds on that long,
which he will. There is no one currently outside of like Wyatt, on Raw who I think is deserving of that title right now, because to me, Strowman and Keith Lee has his steam has been severely cut down ever since that they started feuding him with Strowman there. So I think, to me, unless it is with Z Fiend, I think we're probably are gonna have Orton hold that title until WrestleMania there.
Well, possibly. I, I don't know, because Orton did have a great 2020, so in a way he deserves it. I'm just interested to see where they go from here, because you would think, one would assume that Drew wants the title back, but that was the third match, and they're not going to do
a fourth match. Wasn't it like number 4? SummerSlam, or no, or no, sorry,
champions. This might have been the. I thought it was. I thought he was up 0-2. I mean, I thought Drew was up 2-0 at the very least.
You might be right. It was one of the two there, but
if he was up, there was no need for a
no.
But yeah, well, I don't know. I'm interested to see what happens. But the bad thing here, and this is my viewpoint of this match, is because it's on Raw. I have no faith. If this was on SmackDown, I would have faith.
That
is the difference between the two shows. That I'm not sure what happens with Drew now. I'm not saying he's going to be crap.
No,
but going forward, I don't know. I do not know.
I mean, I think in the short term he'll probably be on a Survivor Series elimination tag here. Is probably
does it probably start building that this week or next week, or
because I think for TLC they'll probably go into Orton versus Wyatt. That seems, I think, to be the most logical right now on Raw. Whereas with McIntyre, I mean, like, just how badly he got beat up, I could see them keeping him off of TV as well for a little bit, which probably wouldn't be a bad idea either. So I don't know, man. I don't know.
He sold the punt like not like a champ. Remember that? So
yeah.
Who knows? I don't know. I mean, I couldn't tell you where they go right now.
Right.
But regardless, I still enjoyed the match. The bad thing was compared to the other two.
At this point, for me, I was completely tired and drained, and for me, I think this kind of dragged. Honestly, I did not understand. Like, when they both climbed up on the cell, made zero sense to me. First of all, just because, like, hey Drew, champions advantage. You don't have to climb up to go and face Orton, so that didn't make any sense. And
doesn't.
Yeah, true. And on top of that, you could tell unlike Drew, he was not comfortable being up there. He was nervous as hell for that. So, and just like that whole entire thing, I feel like if this was a little bit shorter, it would not have been as bad for me. But at the same time, it was what it was. So now, as far as the show was concerned, Matt, I thought it was a very good show. I felt I felt for the most part, all three held in the cell matches were pretty damn good. Obviously, Roman versus Jay and Sasha versus Bailey, they were sensational.
Your headlining matches delivered,
Mhm.
and the undercard was there to break it up.
Yeah, exactly, and that's all that I could ask for. So yeah, before we sign off here, I'm going to talk a little bit about probably UFC 254,
Mhm.
which we saw Habib retain his title against Justin Gaethje, and then obviously afterwards he did announce his retirement from MMA, saying that pretty much he could never fight again without his father there, and he also promised him his his a mother that he wouldn't fight anymore. Matt, were you kind of surprised about that?
And in a way, yeah, in a way, because we had
Mhm.
really no indication.
No,
Um,
none.
uh, but like who am I to say it makes sense? But I think you can tell. I think his the loss of his father really took a lot out of him, and just
Yeah,
emotionally. And I mean, look, his career has been just phenomenal to say the least.
29 and oh, so
Yeah,
I mean shit.
to put it mildly,
Yeah,
phenomenal.
yeah,
So going out basically on top in your division
yeah.
and just on it as a fighter as a whole, I think that's a good way to go out because what
Mhm.
do you have left? He's probably made a
He's
crap ton of money.
Yeah, and people will say, well, is this actually real? Will it actually stick? And I think absolutely yes.
I don't I don't think
Um,
when you would use your dad's passing as a promotional stunt.
no, and on top of it, his teammates such as like DC and Josh Thompson have they ha- he has been telling them, hey, I'm not going to be in here long. I'm going to do as much as I can, but as soon as it gets to a certain point, he's going to walk out. And I do think though, if his dad was still around, he would probably fight at least one more time. But at the same time too, he has beaten everyone. He has beaten Poirier, Connor. Um, uh, I mean, and like Gaethje, the only fighter he never really fought was like Tony, but they have tried at least 4 or 5 times for that fight, and it just always fell through. Whether um for whatever for whatever reason. So I mean, like when that happened, I was just really sad because like you don't like you don't really cherish some of these incredible fighters, man, because to me Habib, he was just a very different kind of a person. I didn't quite see this coming just because I thought that it was so important to him and his family to get at that 30 at that 30 wins mark, but the fact that he said that he promised his whole entire family, no, this is it, and supposedly he has other things going on with his family that he wants to just concentrate on more. But I guess say just a shout out for him. He's arguably one of the greatest ever. He's definitely in, in that go conversation, for sure.
Oh yeah,
depending on what criteria, obviously that you are going by. But yeah, so now you would think with Connor and Poirier happening as of January currently, that would probably be for the vacant 100 and 55 title there. I was kind of asking myself why Connor would agree for the fight against Poirier. So the only thing that I could figure out, he probably had some sort of inkling that that Habib was probably retiring after this year. So yeah, we'll see kind of on that how that goes. Other fights, we saw Robert Whitaker beat Jared Cannonier. I was kind of scratching my head a bit how this wasn't 30-27. Somehow Cannonier got a single round against him, which was kind of head scratching. But obviously Whitaker wins, and I think he is going to be fighting is he next. I don't think there is really any other contenders now for Izzy outside of Whitaker. He looked really good here. I felt a lot better compared to his fight against Izzy, and obviously he beat Darren Till a few months ago. So yeah, he throws himself right back in there. And we also saw like Alexander Volkov. He beat Walt Harris, which I thought was a low blow, but it turned out to be just a kick right in the freaking gut, and he folded. so
Pretty much.
Yeah, I was like, I thought for sure that was illegal, but no. So yeah, he won, and like, man, I tell you, there were so many freaking finishes on that card. Like, it was just
that
nuts.
card flew by.
It flew by because I think the only decision on the main card was like Whitaker and Cannonier. They had like two fights end in the first round. Obviously, Habib and Gaethje ended in like round two. So yeah, a very fun card. I'm looking next week. We have on like Bellator. It's Lima versus Gegard Mousasi, and then on Saturday is Anderson Silva's final fight. So I'm pretty excited for that as we head slowly towards the end of 2020 here. So yeah, I think that should pretty much do it for MMA talk here, and I believe that will probably cap everything else here, Matt, unless you get anything more to add.
I'm good. I think we pretty much covered it. So yeah, that was
all right. So you guys, thank you for tuning in. We are going to be back for the wrestling podcast as far as when that is going to actually air. We will keep you up on date for that once we figure out our schedules and all. And if you haven't checked it out already, we had episode 63 of our podcast, which is now on the channel. We talked NFL World Series, and some controversy with Chris Pratt, and Gal Gadot there. So,
Yep.
so as like always, like, comment, subscribe, and follow our Twitter page, and we shall see you for the next live stream. Have a good night, everyone.
See ya.